McCaig. Let's go into quantitative easing today and the human slavery system and just the details of it works, because I've been getting this thing lately from people, actually not lately, since I started this work. Every single day I interact with people, pretty much I get this: why aren't you nicer? Why aren't you nicer? Because mainly because one of two things: your cowardice is making a slavery system. Your unwillingness to stop your own individual slavery is making slavery widespread. You, yourself, you, each individual, okay? And then there's the whole, all the ones, that knowingly are doing the slave system, and that's what we're going to go into today. If you aren't disgusted at this point by what's going on around you, you just don't understand what's going on. You have no conception. So let's go through, something important here so you really understand a bit more of your slavery. Quantitative easing. This is, what in God's name does that mean? Who would make up such a stupid name unless they were hiding something? Okay, let's look over here. Look at this. Quantitative easing, also known as large-scale asset purchases, is a monetary policy whereby a capital bank buys predetermined amounts of government bonds or other financial assets in order to inject money directly into the economy. What does that mean? Oh, okay. The government, okay, which we know is this "in God we trust," this trust to Satan, we being Satan, right? The satanic trust, right, is buying assets. The stock market has assets, right? They're buying assets with, dollars, which are "in God we trust" notes that they never pay on, right? Quantitative easing is, monetary policy of the "in God we trust" to buy all the assets of every business, meaning the liquid assets, like all their stock, which is the ownership of all businesses. So they put the businesses up on the stock market and then they just buy them all. This is akin to the banking, where the banking scam and part of the slavery system. But you got to understand, quantitative easing is just directly the "in God we trust," not through its banking affiliates, mind you, okay? They're just going to they're going to go on the stock market and just buy all the assets, just print money, make it up on the spot, right, to make the dollar value of assets rise. But what does that do to the asset? It doesn't make it worth more. It makes it worth more money, but have less value, because they're just printing all the money. They have all the money in the assets. So if you have $1 and they print, $100, your dollar that you had, against those $100, it just went down to the value of 1 penny. You see, they're just buying everything. They own really everything. No one really owns their own home. And if you slave for X amount of decades and did buy a piece of real estate, you still got to pay property tax unless you use, one of our bulletproof trusts, right? So, this is banking. The only way that money is created in this financial system we have is at a bank. You go in, you get a loan, right? And then on the spot, let's say you go on in and make a loan, a loan, right? A bank, you don't get $100,000. You get like a car, a house or something like that. You didn't get any money. But the bank that day has assets, right? Loans made to customers, right? They get cash that day. Say you went to go, hey, I need $100,000. They got $100,000 that day, and they could get loan, more against that. And so they have to, quote, invest that $100,000. They're going to go on the stock market and buy a bunch of stock too. They're going to buy all the company. But the problem is Slavery is just simply not, like, people aren't getting loans fast enough. They're not qualifying anymore. The slave system's like, it starts to crush itself after a while. People can't even feed themselves or house themselves or anything, unless they worship Satan and get extra money. The Satanists here, they have the money. It gets doled out to them among their system. And then if you're not with them, you're a pauper. Or, you have to learn how to deal with them and how to get around them and how to, the way I train people in this, in hell here under this domed reality. But the thing is, they're like, oh, the economy is not expanding fast enough. Inflation isn't going fast enough. Inflation is, they're just printing more money. And so they need to, have the stock market go up faster. And people just can't borrow money and buy stock. They can't even borrow money and buy a house for themselves now. People live in cars and stuff. So, quantitative easing had to be introduced. We need that stock market to go up. And everything's going to be fine. Let's make America great again. By what? You know what? Let's just cut out the banks and quantitative easing. We'll just buy all the Apple stock and, we'll buy the stock we want. Make that price of those things go up like it has value. Who uses Twitter? No one. The government uses Twitter just to announce lies. And then everything comes out from Twitter to all the other feeds that maybe some people can sort of be on, like Facebook or YouTube. But if you speak the truth, you can't really be heard. I have 2,000 subscribers on YouTube since 2013. And I only speak the truth, and I'm the only one proving how to beat the bankers. They just dial you down and make you nothing in the social media thing. You have more than like 1,000 subscribers on your channel. You are a Satanist. You are a liar. You are one of them. That's the only way. This quantitative easing, this is slavery. Okay? This is just speeded up slavery. You see, this is speeded up slavery. You're a slave. And people are like, oh, I'm not sure if I like your attitude. You're not nice enough. You are either, how do they say it? How do they say it over on the, Satanist team? They say you're either on the table or you're at the table. That's it. They're feeding off of you. And they know it. And you're so egotistical, you think you're so smart, you're not one of their cattle. I'm the smartest one you ever heard of. I accept that they think I'm one of their cattle. You have to accept that first. You have to accept this is pure slavery in hell. That's because that's the situation. And I'm supposed to be like, hey, you're supposed to be like Jesus, all nice. What did Jesus do with this whole I mean, let me see if I have one of these pulled up here. Yeah. Oh, okay. And Jesus went into the temple of God and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold the doves, and said unto them, it is written, my house shall be called the house of prayer, but ye have made it into a den of thieves. He's not talking about a building. He's talking about our reality. If you accept your slavery, then you're going to be a slave. Okay, you're going to be a slave to Satan. 33, Satan, the one they all worship in this dome prison. Okay, that's who you're going to be a slave to. Okay, you think you have a nice attitude? There are 330 million of them acting as one. And there are 330 million other humans here. That's the numbers that are here. Okay, and so it's cattle and wolves. And there's like a very couple people, 5 like myself in total, who have the full truth and can help you. Okay, they don't have the full truth like this financial thing. There's only one. There's only me. Okay, so you don't like my attitude. I don't like your system. I don't like your choices. I don't like, that I'm in here with you and you accept this. I don't like that about you. Okay? And until you show me, until you prove to me that you're not one of them, you are. You have to have proof. I have proof I'm not one of them. You don't have proof? Okay, well, no proof means only one thing. You're not on this team yet. I'm here to help you if you want to, but and when it's time, in this temple, this prison that God created, right? The whole time, the entire time, I'm going to be flipping the tables on the bankers, because this is what Jesus showed to do. And the attitude that we are supposed to have as we do it to them. This is the attitude that you're supposed to. If you don't have this attitude, you have the wrong attitude. Okay, you are maladjusted. Okay, you have Stockholm syndrome. You think that there's some good in your enslavers. You're mistaken. You are mistaken. Jesus knew to the full heart of them, there's no good in them. It doesn't exist. Just get out. Do you see? Get out of my life. Go over there. You're not like me. Okay? They're not one of us. There's humanity and there's humans. Okay? This quantitative easing, this is slavery. They just are hiding it in these words that you don't know what they mean. Like, this is slavery. They're announcing more quantitative easing. Heavier slavery is coming your way. We're going to do a little more slavery. We're going to dial down, the thumb screws on the slaves. They announce it on the TV. And you're all like, oh, that's cool. My thumb screws are going to be turned, again. Well, isn't that great news? No. No, it's not. Okay? And unless you have the attitude it's not, you aren't adjusted properly to the situation. Do you understand? Okay, there we go. There's a video on quantitative easing. God bless you all. If you want to get out of this, we have the proven methods. Debt savior, right? System. And the bulletproof trust. We can help you out here, okay? But I can't help you if you don't accept that you are their slave. Do you want to get out of their slavery? Well, I have the proven methods to do it. You're interested? Get in touch, okay? Please. I'm here to help you. God bless you.